All right, hi. So this is my religion project. I'm here with. What's your name? Yeah.
Oh, Audrey Bauman,
All right. So now, what was your husband's name?
Edward,
And how'd you meet him?
bowling alley.
You want to maybe explain the story?
Oh, I can explain it okay.
Yeah.
We used to keep score bowling, and every time I'd come back to look at the page, he put a star next to it and erased it and was annoying me, trying to get my attention.
Aww.
Yeah, it was
Do
cute.
you think that kind of endeared you to him, or endeared him to you, or was kind of like the fact that he was
I knew
annoying?
he was interested, but I wanted to bowl.
Aww. So how did what was your first date like?
Our first day, we went to a drive-in, a movie at Valley Stream. It was lovely.
Nice.
Yes, it was really, really nice.
Do you remember what movie you went to see? Was it Betty Davis?
Gone with the Wind.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, he wasn't too interested in that.
Yeah. How long did you date before you decided you wanted to get married?
2 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, met him, I was 20. 2 to 3 years.
All right. What changed? Like, what made you realize that you wanted to get married?
To him?
Yeah.
Because after a while I knew he was my friend and he was the one.
Aw. Like, what made you think that? Was it his actions? Was it his words?
No, I think it's chemistry, really.
Mm-hmm.
When you meet someone, either you like them or you don't, and then sometimes you go on and you develop a fondness for them.
Yeah. So when did you guys get married?
1964.
1964. Alrighty. And what was the first thing you did after you get married? Like, did you immediately go buy a house? Did you have kids? Did you just want to wait a little bit? Like, what was your plan?
Oh, I see. Our plan was to save to buy a house. But I think in November of that year, I got pregnant with Kathleen, our firstborn.
Mm-hmm. And how many children do you have?
I have 2.
Yes. Okay. So, how was raising your kids with him? How did that change your dynamic? Now that there's kids.
Oh, how did that affect our relationship?
Yeah. Like, how did that
It was wonderful. Daddy used to take Kathleen for a walk with her. The dog that used to make all that crack noise on the street. Crack, 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 crack.
And that's why
I
Mom
forgot
doesn't.
the name of that dog.
Raffles.
The beagle.
Raffles. What were you looking for in a spouse? Did he live up to it?
Yes, just being honest and funny and just comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Was the expectation you had in getting married, did that really live up to the reality of it? How was the expectation similar and different to the reality?
Honestly, I had no expectations because I was interested in working and having fun. And after a while, I got to know him very well, and I knew this was the one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Simple.
So how important were money and marriage in the relationship?
Was not important.
Wasn't important?
We were just honest with each other.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's more important to marry for love or marry for money?
Oh, for love.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How important was cultural background and having the same religion?
Well, we happened to have basically the same cultural background, and he happened to be the same religion, so it just fell into place like that.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe affected, having something in common affected how easy it was?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you were working in a school, but he was working where?
No, I was working in a private industry.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met him, his sister was a teacher in the Board of Education.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to go into the Board of Education.
Alrighty. So what advice would you maybe give to young teenagers now who want to get married straight out of high school? Was that a good idea? How long did you wait before you got married?
Well, I think it's the times now, because I think now there are more opportunities for women than there were when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, it's best to stay single for a while, but sometimes, you marry your best friend from high school too, it all depends.
Did he go to the same high school as you?
No,
I forgot.
I
Yeah.
went to a girls' high school.
Oh yeah. I don't think he could have gone
No.
there. So after you had children, how did that so after you had children, you mentioned that it really didn't affect things too much. It was mainly just made everything better.
I think it made us closer, like as a family, that's what I mean.
So I'm sorry, how did everything change when he died?
Oh, a lot changed drastically, but I think God had a plan, because I really didn't want to go back to work, but actually I did, and it worked out for the best. And had to change, well, everyone was trying to match me up with somebody, but I just wasn't interested at that point.
You were never
I just wanted to raise my daughters.
You were never interested in getting remarried?
Not at that time, maybe later on, but it never happened.
Do you know why that is? Do you think that maybe you still had devotion to his soul, or was it just a soulmate thing, or
I think, no, I honestly think that I just wanted to provide for my daughters, and it wasn't on my mind at that time.
You do have that independent type 8 in you.
Yeah.
And then you kind of
more responsibility for what you have to do in life.
Yeah.
First.
Mhm. Do you mind, maybe, if it's all right with you, would you mind sharing the story, sharing your experience?
You can share it.
Would you mind sharing it?
Would I mind sharing it?
Yeah.
No.
So what's the how I mean, this isn't a fun question. How did he die? What happened?
Well, he had a cerebral hemorrhage to the brain. Actually, I guess you'd call it, I don't think it was a stroke. It was a brain hemorrhage.
Mm-hmm.
An embolism.
An aneurysm?
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you.
Yeah. So after he died, you were raising your children by yourself. Did that affect the way you saw yourself?
I never thought of it. I just
did you have to
did what I had to do.
Step up and be both parents, if that makes sense?
I think the time that both Eddie and I put into raising our daughters, and after he passed away, that just carried on. It was in them.
What was the most difficult thing about being married? And then what was the most fun?
Well, the most fun we had, we were together. And it was,
what was the best thing about being married?
the companionship and fun, and not being alone, and feeling comfortable with someone for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. And then what was the most difficult?
Well, the most difficult, I think, was when he passed away. That was difficult.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe sorry. How did your parents feel about the marriage? Were they supportive? Were they happy?
Oh yeah.
How are
Well, my father was not alive to know Eddie. Just my
Aw.
mom and my brother.
Did you ever get to meet his parents?
Yes.
What was his family like?
Well, I liked my father-in-law a lot. My mother-in-law, I don't know about her, but she was okay too.
Yeah.
She wasn't very educated. I think that means a big difference in life.
Do you think having do you think the education may have made a difference in your relationship? Do you think, because you're very educated. Was he educated?
Well, he was educated, but his family His father and grandfather worked in a local brewery, and years ago, that was a father and son family hand-me-down. So that's what he did. He wanted to work in the breweries.
Did
in
he go to
Brooklyn.
Did he go to college or high school?
High school?
He went to high school. So you were the most highly educated between the two of you.
I would think so. Hmm.
Was that was very that was, I don't want to say unusual, but like that was against the norm for women in your
Right.
time. How did that affect your relationship? Did that affect your relationship?
Well, a little bit. I don't think Edward didn't want to really have me having to work at all. He didn't want me to work.
Was that more just because he cared about you, or was that like?
No, he felt he had to support the family. He felt responsible.
Yeah.
I think that's how that worked years ago.
Different times, I guess.
Yep.
If you were to be like that age again in 2023, do you think things would have gone differently? Like between like getting married at a certain age and then like you being the more educated one and him not wanting you to work. Do you think?
You mean at that time?
But do you think if that had happened now in the year 2023?
No, I still would have married him. I loved him.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to share?
Regarding what?
Just your thoughts on like how to live what's the secret what's the secret?
I think the most important thing that you to do is always follow your heart and don't let anyone tell you differently, or if it doesn't feel right with you, you don't do it. That's my advice. You walk away.
What's the secret to a happy marriage in your opinion? I mean, there's really no like
Communication.
Communication. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, if you don't talk about your feelings with another person, you never really know them. It's marriage is a shared game. Let me put it that way.
I think communication really made a difference in the way that you lived with him and like raised your children together. Is that
sure.
what you were you preached communication?
Yes, I think it's very important to talk to each other.
I think so too.
Very important. Otherwise, how would you know?
Yeah, it's a whole lot of it would be a whole lot of guessing otherwise. Do you think that's the most important aspect of a relationship, or is that like
Right.
communication?
No, I think so. Yes. Is the interview over?
No, I'm running out of questions to ask. What made you think? What made you like believe that like he was the one? Like what specifically?
We're just comfortable.
We're just comfortable.
Yeah, laughing, having fun, and
Do you think that it was like? Do you think that it was like a soulmate thing?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, I think that's what brings people together.
Yeah. Do you think
I think so.
Do you think God had any role in bringing you guys together?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Because I know you had mentioned before, like, when you went to bowling, you were not going to go that day, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to join that summer league, but my friend of mine, she persuaded me. I said, "Oh, okay."
Do you think that was maybe God acting through her?
Oh, absolutely. But actually, his father used to talk to me more than he did. So.
Oh my God.
It's the truth.
That's funny. So you had a good relationship with him?
Oh yeah.
That's good. Well, that makes me happy. Thank you for doing this interview with me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It was very nice to talk with you.
Is there anything you want to say goodbye?
Thank you for the opportunity
Alrighty.
to discuss my life. I thought it was wonderful.
I'm glad. I thought it was wonderful too.
Yes.
It's always nice getting to talk to you.
Yes, thank you.
Alrighty.
I have the best granddaughter in the world.
Aw, I have the best grandma in the world.
That's right. That's us.
Yeah, we're the best. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yay.